This is a Stipple Wild video and it pertains to the mid-July 2020 update. If you do not have Stipple Wild or the latest update, then this video is not of any concern to you. Alright, I'm going to launch Stipple Wild. We're just going to leave everything as is. Okay, so first thing to note is that the layout of the buttons on the bottom has been changed. This will probably drive all of us a little bit crazy. But it kind of makes sense. All right. So what I'm going to do is open up the menu that is new. All right, middle button, middle on the menu. It's called the dot shape menu. So by default, we're drawing black dots and stipple as indicated by the circle. Now, if we were to pick, say, a diamond, you can see that now we're drawing diamonds. Let me increase the size a little bit. Uh, and we've got this drop down here, and we can pick different categories. Say we pick nature, we'll have. All right, you'll see right away that we pick this B shape, and it comes in black. Well, if you go and change the color, on the color menu, you can change the color of the dot. By default, if you haven't changed the settings in the initial canvas options, the you're going to just have black dots, and that's just going to dictate what color the shapes come in. So if you have a color, or if you have a dot shape that has some tone in it, you're going to want to switch it. Let's go to 3D, and we'll go to the boxes, and say we just use white as the color, and I'm going to make this bigger again. You'll see that these come in pretty much how they show in the menu. Let's add a black background so you can see that a little better. Let's hide this. All right. So now dot shapes were added about half a year ago. However, now this menu gives you a little bit of a preview, so you can see what you're picking, and uh, and then you'll also note that as you pick, uh, as you use these dots, they end up in your history. This bottom section, so that shows you the last 10 shapes that you used. Um, let's see, we can go to random and get the grenades. All right, so that is basically how to use this. We've got categories, we've got previews, and then in the bottom we have history. So let's show the trash can. If you want to take stuff out of your history, hit the trash can. All right, and if you hit the G button, now that's glitter, and you might remember that from our color menu has the G on it. What that's going to do is it's going to randomly pick shapes that are in your history and the one that's selected. So if the one that's selected isn't in the history yet, it will randomly pick between those shapes you have in your history. So I'll shut that off, and let's see. All right, now we have import and we have save, and I'll go ahead and hit import. And if this is your first time launching this, it's going to ask you for permission, uh, storage permission. Actually, that's on save. Excuse me. All right, so now with import, let's go ahead and pick this. I'm going to pick this diamond shape, or what do you call that? Parallelogram. And then we've got G off, so you can see that now we have this. And if you go to custom, you're going to see that my custom is blank. But if I hit save, now I've saved that brush that I've imported into Stipple, and the next time you launch, that's going to be available. Now you can also save one of the default dots, or one of the preset dots, into your custom in case you want to, I don't know, just have a go-to category of dots that you like to use. Um, let's check the clock. All right, we're at 5 minutes. Um, so now you'll see down at the bottom it says Var and Inc. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna put in 360 and I'll pick. Now let's just stick with the grenade. So now, actually, no, excuse me. I'm gonna put 90. I'm gonna put 90 into the rot, and you'll see that now my grenades are all sideways. Increase this a little bit. All right. Actually, let's go ahead. I'm gonna shut the draw image off. So now you'll see that my grenades are all sideways. Now, if I go to, I'm going to go back to that button or go back to the dot shape. I'll put the raw at 0 and I'm going to put the var at 360. To go back a second, raw is your start position, right? So if that's 90 and there's no other settings with var and inc, you're going to see that the dots come out rotated to that that amount of degrees. So now if I put var 360, you'll see that my dots come in. Let's go ahead and use this diamond shape. My dots come in at randomly between 0 and 360 degrees. So that gives us variance, as it's called var. It gives us the variance in the rotation. So if you use rot and var together, you're not really going to see much of a difference because rot itself is just the default, is just the start position. And then if you're randomly rotating it by 360, you're not going to get anything different than just var by itself. However, there are reasons to use it, and I'll get into that. So now what ink does, and I'm going to keep var at 360, but I'm going to put ink at 90, and you'll see that now we are our dots are coming out and they're constrained to 90-degree turns. So it won't do random between 0 and 360. Basically, it's doing 90, 180, 270 or 360, and 360 is actually 0, But regardless, so it's going to be picking a random rotation between or it's going to be randomly rotating it but constraining it to 90 degrees or incrementing by only by 90-degree intervals. And you can put that at say 45, and let's yeah, we'll stick with this, and you'll see that these now come in at 45s, and it's pretty cool. So I'm gonna put ink back at 0, and now we're gonna go into something, and I'm gonna make another video going into this in more detail. However, so you'll notice that in the image menu, what used to be called jitter, this one right here used to be called jitter. Now it's called effect, and I'm gonna put it on right now. And then down here on this drop down where it says jitter, basically this is dictating what the effect channel is doing. So if I put this at rotate map, and then I'm going to go to my fill menu, and I'm going to put this at let's put it at 45, and let's see how this goes. All right, that was a little bit much. I'm going to put that at 35. Now this is right now in columns, and all right, so just to make this a little bit more coherent, I'm going to turn the draw image back on. Maybe I should have practiced this ahead of time. Anyway, now you see that our dot shape is rotated by the map inside the effect channel. So let's make these a tiny bit smaller. So there you go. This is actually a pretty cool effect. Let's go to custom, and then I'm going to go to lines, and then I'll go to this, and we'll see how this goes. And you'll see that now my lines rotate as the image goes from gray to white. And all of this is dictated by this slider right here. Say we put it at the mid position. Now we're only going to be rotating from this mid position to the right position. So you'll end up with more flat spots. Right. That pretty much covers how that's the basics of how this works. And again, you can go and constrain to say only do it in 45s, and then you'll see that now we have this very predictable and tight rotation as it's going from let's see what's black on the draw image to the white spot. So it's going from being flat to then rotating to then going back. Now, say we put this at 180 because that's probably better because, as I said before, 360 is the same as, actually, let's go to 270. Well, hit go. And you'll see that it changes things. You can experiment with that. It is a little bit confusing because it involves so many different palettes. Uh, all right, I think that about wraps things up for the basics on the changes. I'm going to make a couple more videos to explore some of these effects in a little bit more depth. All right, before I close, let me look at my notes. All right, I think I'm all set. All right, thanks for watching. Have fun. Let me see if you come up with something cool. And goodbye.